Hi there. Hopefully this gives you, a little bit more information that can help you solve for the flawed flowchart. So we'll just read through it quickly, and I'll give you sort of a head start on what you need to be doing to solve things like this. So read through the chart. There's an error, and you gotta tell me what the error is and how to fix it. So the algorithm in the flowchart is supposed to print out the divisors. So we're talking about division statements of a number entered. For example, if the number is 24, we need to have 1, because 24 divided by 1 is 24. So 1 and 24, and we need 2 times 12, 3 times 8, and 4 times 6. So those are the numbers that you can divide evenly out of 24. So our program needs to print those numbers, and it needs to know when to stop. However, I built a program, and I used this flowchart, and when I run it, I don't get all of these numbers. I just get 1 and 4, and then it stops. So we got to figure out why that's happening. The best way to do that is to take our flowchart and then set up a little chart over here, a little 2-column chart, and let's see what our variables are doing as we run through the chart. So I'll just copy that image, paste it over here, and we can work with it. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that we can see everything at once. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move to my pen. What we need to do is we need to start out by making like a little 2-column format. Always a good idea. And what we're doing here is we're just going to be tracking our variables through each iteration or each loop of the program. So we're going to start out by identifying what our variables are. We've got a variable that's n. The user gives us any number. Okay, so what's n? Okay, and then we've got another variable called d. All right, when we start the program, I'll put d here and I'll put n there. Just cross those out for now. When we start the program, we already know that d is 1. So the first time the program runs, d is going to be 1. I might even want to add a 3rd column here just to see if it's a divisor. All right. So read n, user gives us any number. For the sake of argument, they could give us any number, but for the sake of argument and for what we said for this question, n is going to equal 24. All right. So at the beginning, our divisor is 1, okay, and our n is 24. All right. Now what happens? Does n divided by d, have a remainder of 0? Okay, so I'm just going to put remainder question mark. So d, does 24 divided by 1 give a remainder? No, it doesn't, because 24 divided by 1 is 24. There's no remainder. So is there a remainder? No. All right. So if there is no remainder, it follows this route here. Add 3 to d. Okay, so does it have a remainder of 0? I should change this up here. Sorry, I just got it exactly backwards. Okay. And we'll change that column so that it says remainder equals 0 question mark. Does the remainder equal 0 on this? Sure it does, right? Because 24 divided by 1 is 24, and there's no remainder. So does it? Yes. So now we follow the yes. Print D. So our output down here, this is output. This is what the computer's giving back to us. So it will indeed print 1. Then that was this step. Now it goes down here and it adds 3 to D. So the next time that we run through the program, D is now 4. Does D equal n plus 1? Okay, does D equal n plus 1? Does D equal 25? No, it does not. So in the no, we got to follow it back up and we got to pick it up right here again. So does n divided by D have a remainder of 0? And you know what? N's going to be the same the entire time. It doesn't change. 24 divided by 4 is 6, and there is no remainder, so does the remainder equal 0? Yes, it does. So once again, we go down to this statement, and now we got to print out D again. This time D is 4. So now we have to add 3 to D again, and if we add 3 to 4, we get 7 to 7. N is always 24, right? So after this step, does D equal n plus 1? Well, does D equal 25? No, it doesn't, so we have to go right back up and loop again. Does n divided by d have a remainder? 24 does not divide evenly by 7, okay? 24 does not divide evenly by 7. It's going to be 7, and the remainder is going to be 3. So that's a big no there. So once we get a no to this question, we got to follow this route, and we got to add 3 and then check again. So now we add 3 to D. Does D equal 25? No, it doesn't. So we got to go back up the loop to here. Now we got to do the same thing we've been doing all along. Does 24 divide by 10 leave a remainder? Yes, it does. Okay, just 24, 24, 24. It doesn't matter. And I didn't really need the column for n. Does the remainder equal 0 on this one? Nope, because it doesn't divide evenly. So we've got another no down to here. And then we just add 3 to D. We know that 13 doesn't equal 25, so we got to loop again. Does 24 divided by 13 go evenly? No, it doesn't. So let's add another 3 and keep going. Does 24 divided by 16 give a remainder of 0? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we've got to add another 3 more. Okay, does 24 divided by 19 leave a remainder? No, it doesn't. Or have a remainder equal 0, sorry. No, it doesn't. So we got to add 3 more. Okay, and does 24 divided by 22 have a remainder equal 0? No, it doesn't. So now we're at 25 when it adds 3 to D. Does D, 25, equal n plus 1? N plus 1, 24 plus 1 is 25. So this time is now yes, which means we go to the program end. And if you look at what we output down here at the bottom, of all that work we just did, we only identified 2 numbers, 1 and 4, that were actually could divide 24 by these numbers evenly. So there is a problem somewhere along the way, okay, where we're not getting to all the divisors. We know that 1 is a divisor of 24, but we also just know from math, if I do 24 divided by 2, that equals 12, and there's no remainder. So we know that right here already our program is off the rails because we skipped from 1 to 4 and we completely missed 2. We also know that 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8 with no remainder. So there's at least 2 numbers missing before we hit the 4. So our program is doing something. It's jumping to numbers that are skipping over divisors of 24. And once we hit this point right here, okay, we don't get any more even divisors. So clearly, our program shouldn't be giving us the only 2 numbers up here. We need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. So this is the point up here where the program breaks. So what you should do to help try and problem solve this is identify what's going on in the first 2 steps that's taking us completely off the path. And hopefully that helps get you a little closer to what's happening as the program cycles through this flowchart and gives us the output down here that we know is wrong. Okay, best of luck. Let me know if it helps.